The other thing that's nice is that we want to include links or link backs between Rate a Dentist and your web page. So with Rate a Dentist, you actually get, it's called HTML code, embedding code, just like what you saw with YouTube, that allows you to have updated surveys on your website every single time somebody does a review for you and you approve it. So now this link attached to Rate a Dentist and the thousands upon thousands of pages that they have created, and the Facebook page with the millions upon millions of reviews that they have posted as well. So all of this web comes together. This allows you, just to be perfectly honest, nothing bugs me more than seeing, reviews or testimonials from a dental practice that are from the 1990s. I mean, this gives you constantly updated reviews. As a patient reviews you, it shows up on your site. So now we have completed a good percentage of this web, right? In fact, we've done everything except for any of the AdWords stuff. And you've spent no money so far. So let's talk about controlling your image online real quick, because if you're using reviews, and patients are going to do reviews on you anyway, how is it that you control your image in those unlikely events that you make a mistake? And nobody's perfect 100% of the time. So you anger a patient and you end up with these reviews online with 1 stars, not only 1 stars, but going through and writing a huge dissertation of what a horrible dentist you are. In fact, this dentist has 14 reviews and their average is 2 stars. If I saw this, that I would avoid this dentist like the plague, to be perfectly honest. You can't control your image online. The best you can do is dilute it. And that's why I have this rule of dilution. You can't control the land of public opinion. Instead of trying to control it, dilute negative opinion with a vast majority of positive ones. So let's look at this. The best way to do it is to not put all your eggs in one basket. We have all these different review sites out there like Angie's List, Yelp, Dr. Google, Kudzu, Rate a Dentist, Rate MDs, City Search, and Google Local. What tends to happen, especially if you're having an automated system push reviews to your patients, like Demand Force or Smile Reminder or Please, even the software we own, is that generally they push to a single location. The problem with that is that you may have a great number of reviews on one location, like Demand Force, but a terrible reviews on all the rest. If patients are going to bury you in the land of public opinion, they're going to find a way to do it. So instead, just as an example of what Please does, is that they have the ability to push reviews to all of the sites. So if you end up with a bad review on Yelp, in a very short amount of time, you will have 10 or 20 good reviews on Yelp, and so on and so forth. So what you're able to do is dilute those bad reviews by piling up a bunch of good reviews on top of it. The other thing that you want to do is when you find a bad review online, and you need to continually look for these, you want to make it irrelevant. Here's an example. Dentist, more like thieves, 1 star. As soon as you see a review like that, click no. It's not relevant, not helpful. And Google looks at those and says, okay, that's not relevant to these people, and we're going to drop it down to the bottom. On the positive reviews, you want to click yes, it was helpful, and push those to the top. So over a period of time, you will end up with the positive reviews on top, the negative reviews on the bottom, hopefully on page 2 or 3, and your star listing will go up. Your average star listing will go up because you are pushing reviews to your patients. Think about this. A satisfied patient is completely worthless, but an angry patient is disastrous. If someone is dissatisfied with the work you do, they won't generally, satisfied with the work you do, they won't generally go out of their way to tell anyone. You will need to be more assertive to turn them into referrals. In order to get referrals from these patients, you have to push referrals to them. This is where an automated system like Please comes in handy. When a patient checks out, they get an email asking them to do a review. Another way to do it free is to give them a workstation at your office or go buy an iPad. It's well worth it. where a patient can actually review you at the office for free. That doesn't cost you anything, but of course you won't be able to push reviews to different sites. You'll have to do that manually. On the other hand, a patient who is dissatisfied will go out of their way to bury you in the land of public opinion. If you push surveys to these people and they fill them out, then you have visibility to the issues and you might be able to solve them before they go out into the land of public opinion and destroy your reputation. So pushing surveys to a patient is the way to do it, whether they're satisfied and you can turn them into a referral source, or they're dissatisfied and you can solve the issue before it kills your reputation. So then there's step 9, and this is advertising. And really there's 2 things we want to talk about in advertising, and the first is pretty simple. Put your pages on everything. If you have a Facebook page, once you've gotten your URL for Facebook, put it on there. Put it on your business cards, your emails, your newsletters, other pages, advertisements. Put your pages on whatever you can. You don't have to put all of them, but I would probably put your web page and your Facebook page on all your advertising, because some people will go to one location over the other. The other thing you want to do is finally spend some money. Now this is the paid advertising or sponsored links on Google. Now before you spend the money, there are a few things that you'll want to do. This, by the way, is paid advertising on Facebook as well. Before you spend a dime, you need to do your homework. Have your web developer add Google Analytics to your website and have the report emailed to you monthly. Google Analytics will show you how you're getting patients now. Are they being referred from Facebook, for instance? It will show up there. If they are, then you might want to do some advertising on Facebook so that you can get that paid person to come over to your site. Are they searching for you using certain keywords? If they are, you might want to throw some money into that. Probably the best way to find out this information is to find out what search criteria your competitors are advertising on. Certainly you can do that by going into Google AdWords and doing some searches and finding it out. Or you could just search for dental related content and see if your competitors pop up. If they do and you're not, you might want to spend some money on advertising. You might also want to go in and change your keywords on your website so that you do come up when that page pops up. The cool thing about advertising on the net is that it gives you the ability to set a manageable, comfortable monthly budget. So you can set this, it's called pay-per-click advertising. How much money do you want to spend on the high end per month to get advertising? If it's $200, fine. Put it in there, put your keywords in, and let it rip. If it's $1,000, you're going to get more patients because you'll get more views. But you can set a manageable, comfortable monthly budget, and Google will not go past that, so it becomes a fixed cost. Now, if they don't reach your monthly budget, great. You don't pay that amount of money. And I fully think that you should get some professional help. It is well worth the money spent to have somebody that knows what the heck they're doing, to manage your website, take a look at your keywords, optimize it, get your Google AdWords, and then continually manage this process so that you are getting as many views as possible. This is a major portion of the advertising budget in the 21st century. You need to have somebody there that knows what they're doing. And it's really a matter of the fact that you just don't have the time to do it, and we realize that. So now we have completed this web. 99.9% of this was completely free, and it doesn't even take that much time to do. The thing where you might want to get some help is creating your Google local page, though I'm confident you could do it yourself. Setting up AdWords and optimizing your website. All right? So if you really feel that you need to take it to that